What's going on, guys? Deezy here, and today I got a gameplay commentary. I'm just playing some Ghost, just mixing it up a little bit. But the topic of today is Black Ops 3. It's just around the corner. We got like 7 days left, I think. Yeah, about 7. Yeah, 7 or 8, depends on how you want to think about it. But I want to talk a little bit about the eSports world and how I think it's going to go, and some of the good things and bad things I think they've added. And this is all opinion based. You probably have different opinions. You might like some of the things I say and dislike some of the other things I say. But I'm just going to go through and talk about them. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, the way the COD, they introduced the COD World Elite, which I think is amazing. I think it is the greatest thing that has happened to Call of Duty since ever. Call of Duty eSports, I mean. And some of the features and stuff they've added are great too. Like on the new consoles, I know you can like live stream when there's a big tournament going on or something, like a LAN tournament, that you can watch the live stream. I don't know if you can watch like online games or how that's going to work. They've increased the prize pool to $3 million. That's up a lot. So, and this is by Activision, the publisher. So they're really trying to take initiative. They also hired, I know they hired like I think it was the CEO, the ex-CEO of ESPN, which I think is pretty crazy. But the COD World League is 2 divisions. There's the Pro Division and the Amateur Division. So the Pro Division, you're gonna have your pro teams, and your Amateur Division, you're gonna have your amateur teams. I don't know how you can. I guess there's a qualifier for the amateur division, but I don't know about the pro division. How do you get in the pro division? That's the question I'm wondering, and I'm sure a lot of you are wondering. You amateur teams who want to make it pro, how do you get in there? I mean, I know at the amateur division you can qualify for a spot at Worlds that way, which Worlds is taking place in fall of 2016 instead of like February or whenever it is. But so how do you get into, if you're the amateur team and you have to wait till Worlds to get into like be considered a pro, you're not gonna like that, and I'm not sure that's the way it's gonna be. I have no idea, but we'll just see how that works. I'm guessing there's gonna be like a season. They haven't really said too much about it, but that's exciting. I think it's still great. It might have some falls, but I still think it's a great step forward for Call of Duty. Now moving into the game. One of the coolest things, I like this a lot. I actually do like this, but I need to touch on it a little bit more after. But we'll talk about it first. The thing I like is the bans and protect system. It's if you haven't seen gameplay of it, basically before a competitive match. Now this isn't in a regular match, so I'm guessing this will be an arena too. I'm not sure. Arena, it replaces league play, if you didn't know that, and I'm not sure if it's going to be an arena too, but the bans and protects, the way it works is, pre-game, you have each player gets to pick a item they want to ban. So say they don't like UAVs, they could ban UAV. Or they don't like, or if they know, say Optic and FaZe were playing, and let's say Formal is really good at with the Man of War. They could ban the Man of War, or maybe Optic wants to protect the Man of War, so Formal can have it. You have to really, it's really about strategy, and I think that's a great thing they've added. So I think that's great. Now, also, like after I'll talk about a little bit more about the bans and protects in just a second. But first, I want to talk about Killstreaks. The Killstreaks, it seemed like have been improved. The last 2 years, Advanced Warfare and Ghost, nobody really used Killstreaks. They weren't that effective. So we'll see what happens with that. They look good as far as now, and that thing. And also the specialist draft. I think this is a cool new. It also adds to the metagame. It's the specialist. You probably know what they are. I'm sure you all know what the specialists are, and it really adds to it. Depending on what game mode, what team you're facing, that can really help out the strategy and the metagame of Call of Duty. So I think that's one of the best new things. At first, when I first saw it back in like May or whatever, or whenever they announced it, I thought Black Ops 3, I was like, oh my god, can we just get some classic Call of Duty? and because of the way they made it look, it wasn't like what I thought. But now, having played it and seen it a lot, I am for the specialist. I think that's a good thing. So that's all good. But what hasn't been talked about is permanent bans. You know, say like in Advanced Warfare, they banned the stem and cloak. You know, nobody wants to play hardpoint, and a guy throws a smoke grenade, and he goes in there with cloak. You know, that's you don't do that. Okay, that's just not cool. But you know, they haven't talked about it, and I've thought of a few items off this list that I think need to be banned or need to be talked about being banned at least. You know what I'm saying? So here, the number one thing I think needs to be banned is UAV. You know, UAV's always been banned, so I don't see why they wouldn't ban it now unless they're just leaving it up to the bans to protect, which I don't think is smart. I think they should have permanent bans as well, but then, you know, still be able to ban and protect. I don't think if you permanently ban something, I do not think it'll take away, you know, because it's mainly about team to team. So if Formal's good with the Man of War, you're going to want to ban that. You're not going to want to have to waste a ban on a UAV, right? Another one's Vision Pulse. If you don't know what that is, it's the specialist ability. I can't remember which character has it. Yeah, I can't. Ruin maybe? No, Ruin has Overdrive. Vision Pulse lets you see through the walls, like a sort of like a Oracle, or what people called the God UAV in Advanced Warfare. It's like a threat grenade kind of thing. And yes, it's only for a few seconds, but I don't think that's on the same lines as UAV. I just don't think it's right, and I think it takes away from the competitiveness of it. So I think that should be banned. Kinetic armor, I think definitely should be banned. If you don't know what kinetic armor is, it's like stem, sort of, I guess, in Advanced Warfare. It doesn't give you extra health like stem does, but it protects everywhere but like your head, I think, which I'm not for that at all. That's I just think it's cheap, and it takes away from the competitiveness again. Now this should be the very first thing they talk about banning is rejack. If you don't know, it's sort of like Last Stand, I guess, back from the older Call of Duties. So if you use your ability right before you're about to die, you can use rejack, which is your ability, and this green smoke pops up, and you have another chance at life. If you can get out, you get another chance at life. If you get killed again, then you're just dead. But I don't like that. I don't like rejack. I think it's very like a cheap thing to do. You know, it's not the way you would expect professionals to do. And I see, and if they leave it in there, even though it's cheap and like it's like shotguns in Advanced Warfare. You know, if you're playing on Detroit, you don't want to play against somebody using a freaking TAC 19 or whatever it's called, or any shotgun really. But anyway, so we'll move on. One I think is good. One of the specialist streaks I think is really good is Psychosis. Now I think this is one of the best ones for competitive. What it does is, if you don't know, it sends out like fake people. I guess I don't know, like a hologram. I guess fake, like a hologram of people that look like people, but you can still tell. I think you can still tell that they're not real. So I don't think it's like cheap or anything. I think that's a good one. Another one is Active Camo, and Active Camo is like Cloak in Advanced Warfare, except it doesn't last as long. I guess this could be argued both ways. I mean, it only lasts like it doesn't last long at all, unless they've changed it since the last time I saw it. But it didn't last long when I saw it. But I still don't think it should be in competitive. Going invisible, we're not playing Halo here. We don't want people to be invisible. If you don't want that, then go play pubs. That's a pub kind of thing. And all these things should be banned. I don't think they should be taken out of the game. I just think they should be taken out of competitive. Right now, Heatwave. Heatwave's debatable. It's sort of like we haven't seen enough of Heatwave, I don't think. But basically, Heatwave, if you haven't seen it, it's the newest specialist. I don't know what his name is, but he's the one with the flamethrower. And basically, if you walk into a room and use Heatwave, it's kind of like a stun, I guess, but I'm not sure if it's like a stun. It may be more powerful. I don't know if it does damage, We'll just have to see exactly how it works, I guess. So I'm not going to touch on that. I think it just depends on, the effectiveness of it, right? So those are some of the permanent bans I think that should be banned. As far as other stuff in esports, what about pro teams falling off? Do I see pro teams falling off? With this new amateur league, this amateur division, and the pro league, I think pro teams could fall off. They could fall off, and an amateur's team could take their spot if they're allowed to somehow get promoted from the amateur division to the pro division. And I don't know how they're going to make it to where you can do that, but I think that needs to be done some way that the amateurs can get to the pros. So you don't want, if there's an amateur team who's dominating and deserves a chance, you got to give them their chance, right? And that's something that I'm curious to see how that works out, right? Also, a question I have is how many spots are in the pro league? There's a good bit of pro teams now, so is it 8 spots, 12 spots, 24? There could be, I don't know. You never know, but I guess we'll have to see later on whenever it starts talking. I'm not sure when the first tournament is this year. I think they had a live stream yesterday, and I want to say they said January, right? But I'm not sure. So don't quote me on that, but maybe January. That's usually when they have it, I think, in Columbus or whatever, but I don't know. And that sort of leads into my next question, and that question is MLG still involved? I personally believe that MLG will somehow still be involved. I think they will host the LAN tournaments, and I just think that the COD World, the seasons, I guess the seasons will be hosted by Activision. But, I think Activision will have a hand in all of it. I'm not sure, there's no way to tell. But they haven't really said anything. Is MLG still going to be involved? I haven't heard anything. If you've heard something, leave a comment and let me know. But I haven't heard anything on that. Also, if MLG isn't involved, where will the stream be? Will it be on MLG.TV or will it be on Twitch? A lot of people say that MLG.TV was the worst thing that happened to competitive Call of Duty. I don't know. I came into the scene about probably the late end of Ghost. But I've been following it ever since. I followed all through Advanced Warfare and that type of thing. I'm a lifelong COD player. I don't know if I said that, but I'm a lifelong COD player, and I got in competitive, about the late season of Ghost. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit and share some of my, I don't want to say problems, but possible issues and things I think that are good. My opinions on the Pro League. Like I said, these are all my opinions. You probably have a different opinion, but, I just wanted to share my opinions and see what everybody thought. So please leave a like and comment what you thought, comment some ideas you had, something I left out, something I might have said something wrong, that some of these questions might have been answered that I haven't heard yet. But anyway, if you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. I will be bringing tons of Black Ops 3 content. I have a schedule, and I'm going to try to get Friday, I'm going to try to have 3 uploads, and I'm going to try to keep 2 going through till the next Tuesday. I'm just going to be pumping out some Black Ops 3 content. So anyway, that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.